Yes, today I brought you another Hot Wheels set. I really like the previous one, so I bought another one. But what exactly is this Elite series has to offer? How much did it cost? And how much smaller will it be compared to the Mercedes? Let's find out. My name is Zoltan, and let's build. And no, Mattel still doesn't sponsor me, I bought this set for myself. So, by now you probably know that Hot Wheels has released these new buildable cars. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, I recommend checking out my previous video, where I explained in detail what this whole product line is all about. Now, the big difference compared to the last one that this set came from the Elite series. These cars were released in 3 categories: Speed, Elite and the very top, Premium. Last week's was the Premium, the most expensive category, and now this one is in the mid-range. So I'm really curious about this set because I want to know the differences. The box is quite similar. On the top you can see the metal parts and the small die-cast core as well. This is a 10 plus set with 876 pieces, and honestly, I already fell in love with this Honda just from the box art. By the way, once again, I get it a higher price. I paid $90 for it, while normally it's a $50 set. If I turn the box around, you can see that this is also a 2-in-1 set, and it's not small. Although you can clearly see it's 1/16 scale, not 1/12 like the Mercedes was, it will still be almost 11 inches long. Alright, so I already can tell you this is something different because we have less metal parts. The rims are not metal, we have less metal wheel covers, and I think this die-cast car is less detailed than the last one. Alright, so we have 15 number bags. We have an optional sticker sheet again, so I think we don't have any extra parts either. Here is the extra metal parts and the wheels and everything, and here's the manual as well, which will be 194 pages long, and yes, we have some extra details of this car. We have some basic information about the NSXs. Here are the 2 cars, because this is a 2-in-1 set, so here's the stock version, and this is the official Pace Car edition. And here are the designers and some interview with them, and you can build an Acura or a Honda out of it, which is basically the same car, but you can decide the steering wheel position. So, nothing else to do, I'm gonna start this build and let's see the functions, let's see the details, and let's compare to the Premium version. Okay, so right at the beginning I can already tell you that they basically cut back all of the premium stuff. Yes, it's totally understandable because it's cheaper, but here are way fewer metal parts than in the Mercedes set. And since I'm now a huge diecast expert, not really, just someone told me in the comments. Well, now I definitely know that the little car included in the Mercedes set was something really special. Normally, Hot Wheels cars don't have opening doors, just like this little NSX doesn't either. This is clearly a lower quality, the wheels are plastic, while that one had real rubber tires. But as a casual fan, this is still a cool little toy car. But now, let's talk about the building surprises. So the build also started with some surprises. Because the base car doesn't need stickers, everything here is printed. Unfortunately, on this carpet piece, it's quite obvious that the part is full of scratches. Not that LEGO would be much better in this regard, but I think it's worth mentioning. And of course, in this set there are plenty of parts that are new to me and simply doesn't exist in LEGO form. The build, not surprisingly, started with the chassis. And here you can see the printed side skirts and the carpets. The next step was building the rear with the iconic taillight strip. Then the 3-liter V6 engine also got built. After that, just like in the Mercedes, the weird front axle came in, which is still a that simple solution. This is the most disappointing part of the build. Its movement is very limited. They really need to improve this in the future models because right now it's just cheap. Just like the Mercedes, this Honda also got a pedal set. Then came the fenders. These were custom made for this set, and needless to say, they look exactly like in the real ones. After that, the front bumper got built, then it was just a matter of covering up the car. And by the way, the glass pieces were packed separately here as well, so luckily they didn't get scratched at all. But there was one difference compared to the Mercedes. Sure, that one also had a few hard to press parts, but there weren't as many tiny pieces as here, so it wasn't really bothersome there. But here, with some of the tiny parts, I had to struggle for minutes before they finally clicked together, so the part quality is still far from LEGO. Now, the car definitely is not small, but you can see the difference between 1/12 and 1/16 scale. In this picture, you can clearly see the size difference. LEGO currently doesn't really have this scale either, at least not in the system line. The last one was this Lamborghini set, I guess. And nowadays they only release cars of similar size in the Technic lineup. This Honda is 10.4 inches long, 3 inches high and 4.8 inches wide. But even though it's smaller, there are plenty of details in this set too. First, let's check out the front. Almost everything is spot on. The front lip might be a little wider than it should be, but other than that, I've got no complaints. The fog lights and the daytime running lights are perfect, the grille is flawless, and even the blinkers are there on this side. Now, here's an important changeable part of the front. If you like, you can make it an Acura, though for some reason the logo looks a bit faded. Or, if you prefer, you can make it a Honda. Luckily, there is an extra printed piece you can swap easily. And then, the pop-up headlights. They work just like they should. Thanks to this special piece, they can be either closed or open, perfectly bringing back the vibe of the 90s. Unfortunately, the trunk doesn't open. It's built together. The fenders look great, underneath are the stock plastic wheels. Yes, unfortunately one set of rims is plastic, and actually the rim itself behind it is also plastic, so you can really feel this isn't the premium line. Moving on, you can see the unique front and rear windshields. Just like with the Mercedes, these look exactly like the real thing, not some random reused part from other cars. Now, the question is this the right direction? What do you guys prefer? The LEGO style universal parts, where they try to create a realistic model using clever building techniques, or this approach, where they mold a piece that looks identical to the real thing? It's clear that the philosophy here is completely different. And then here are the doors, and of course they can be opened, and since this is a Targa roofed car, the roof can be also removed. Inside, they paid attention to every little details. The doors have nice inner panels, the dashboard is fully printed, you can even read the temperature on the screen, there is a gear shifter and the handbrake, the seats are also in the same color as the interior, and yes, you can steer the car with the steering wheel, but as I said earlier, this steering front axle combo is really weak. Probably the weakest part of the build. But what isn't weak? The engine bay. Yep. Everything is visible through the rear windshield. In fact, it can even be lifted, so you can get an even closer look at the VTEC engine. Oh, and by the way, my first car was also a Honda. Of course, not an NSX. That was a 1992 Civic 1.6-liter VTEC, the strongest version from that series. The body was rusting everywhere. This was around 2006, I guess. But when the valve switched, oh man, that extra power and the change in the sound, I still got goosebumps thinking about it. And what can I say about the rear? Well, it's perfect. I love the stock big wing, the wider fenders, the diffuser underneath, the twin exhaust and that iconic NSX taillight strip. And again, you can swap the Acura logo for a Honda one here too. I'm telling you, this section turned out perfect. But it doesn't end here. This set is also a 2-in-1 set. And I have to say, in this case the modified version looks much better in my opinion. The biggest difference is that on the top it has a light bar that might be divisive, but I really like it. And another big difference is the rims. Here you get the licensed race wheel covers, and in this case they are metal. And wow, they make the car look so much better compared to the stock cheap rims. Plus, check out the tires. They are not just generic, they are licensed too. This car got Toyo tires. There is one more changeable part though, the license plate. You get a Hot Wheels one and a Japanese one. Ooh, and don't forget, we have another metal piece. If I flip the car over, you can see this metal plate just like in the Mercedes set. And now again, you could put the stickers on here, and honestly I really considered it because they look awesome in the car. But the same problem as before, there are no extra parts to apply them to. So if I put them on, couldn't go back to the stock version. So once again, I didn't use them. Overall guys, this product line continues to be impressive. Even though you can feel this is in the premium category, it's still an almost flawless display piece. Sure, the front suspension is still a joke compared to a LEGO set, and the material quality is nowhere near LEGO either, but thanks to the extra little car, the metal parts and the ability to rebuild it, this is still a fantastic set. And at 50 bucks, it's an absolute steal. If you have the chance, definitely check it out in person, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So guys, now it's your turn. What do you think of this new Hot Wheels car? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like what you saw, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!